Hello dear students. Today we have a live class. There are some cameras. So let me present myself. My name is Andrei. I'm from Russia, music and piano teacher. And today is in composition lesson. We will talk about how to create melody. And I began from some humoristic situation. My friend told me a long time ago. So you can imagine there's some exam, composition exam, and every student needs to create some piece. And one student, he just tried to find any ideas, but he cannot. He can't create anything. He just permission to leave, go to bathroom, and in corridor he met with his friend and asked, please, can you help me? I need your help. I cannot create any melody, any piece. Could you help me, please? And his friends reply, it's so simple. What you need to do, you just take any piece of your professor and turn over it. And this will be your piece. And angry students reply, I'm already done it. And I've got some Chopin waltz. So it's mean, of course, we must to learn composition rules how to create music. And also my professor told me, before you create music, you must learn rules. But when you start create music, you can forget about any rules. But I think it's not a good idea for all of you to forget rules. And today, I present for you how to create classical 8 measures piece for 8 bars. And you can see there is 8 bars. And before we start, we need to learn a few terms. First one is a motive. And we'll define motive as a short rhythmic idea. And also theme. We will define like a theme as a long melody. And for motive, it can be many pieces. For example, this is motive, or so. I mean, any melody consists of motive or theme. And what you can also see, this is 8 classical bars, and this is called period. So you need to remember that is standard length of classical melody. And also you can see this period consists of 2 sets, 4 bars and 4 bars. And the first one, it's called phrase. And of course, second one is also called phrase. So period consists of 2 sets of phrases. This is also you need to remember. And we will define a first phrase. We will call it questions phrase, because their music wants to expect you something or to show something. And another set of 4 bars we will call answer. So release the music, and second phrase is show something happened. And also we need to remember all music consists of tension and release. It's impossible all this time creating tension without release. Always time create some release music. It's impossible. So one more time look at these 8 bars, and we can put there some notes. And before we start to put some notes, we need to know like every note have a name. And this is called scale degree. Sorry. Scale degrees. For example, there is no sharp, no flat. We will today create music in C major. And let me to write some score notes. And for example, first notes, it's called tonic. Tonic begin in this scale and also finish in this scale. And tonic is notes that are going to bring your melody or stop your melody. So if you want to release your tension, you always can use tonic. So we remember this is about tonics. And next one in the scale degree is high tension, high level of tension. Is some notes which can to help you create more tension in music. So we need to remember this is dominant. And also leading tone, the 7 tones. And subdominant. So this is these 3 notes. F, G, and B. This is always time it's notes which have a high level tension, because these notes always time tones. This also is some tension, but not high like F, G, and B. So this is called supertonic, a second note. And median. And also sub. So these 3 another. So these 3 notes, if you want to have also tension, but not high tensions, you can use these notes. So next one, before we start to build some melody, we can using 2 things in music. It's called steps and leaps. Steps and leaps. So when melody steps, for example, if you have steps in melody, your music have connection between notes and also smoothly from one note to another. Another, it's lips in music, and when you have large jumping between notes, so melodies sounds like disconnected. For example, so this is lips. So you can remember steps and lips. And today we'll use we try to use both of these two ways. And also another one, in melody you can use a short motif or its theme. You can remember the phrase can be repeated, have contrast or variations. And for example, if music something repeat, for example like this. So rhythm is repeat. Or also you can use a contrasting material and it will be contrast, for example like this. Yes, we have two different material and that is contrasting. And variation when it's halfway of repetition and half of contrast. So we can start and we can try to use all steps, leaps, variation, contrast and repetition. We try to create our music in time 2/4 because 2/4 is easily to start to create something and put some notes. Before you start, you need to remember we cannot start from 16 notes or 8 notes because we need understood like music started again. If it will be it's difficult to understand where music starts. So we can start put some notes. And for example, because the music start, I told you before, when music start and end, you can use a tonic. So there we can use a tonic. We will not use the notes, just like tonic. And also we can put tonic here. But also, as you remember, period of music consists of two phrases. So in final of every phrases, you also can use tonic. And there also tonic. So this is a classical period, and we have a first, fourth, fifth, and eighth is a tonic. But for example, if you want more tension between your first and second sets, you can use not tonic but use dominant. And also in fifth bars, instead tonic, you can use dominant. So it's mean you can can put tonic or dominant in fourth bar and fifth. It depends how many tension you want. And also, for example, we can in bar number 4 use leading tone, for example. And in fifth bar, we continue and use some, for example, medium. Again, tell you this is classical, so we don't start our phrases from another notes from scale degree. We use like classical period. But this memory bar number 4 and 5th, it's place when you can to show how many tension do you want to show in your music. Now we, if you look, our frame not so empty like before. And now we can start to put some notes from scale degree. And because we already decided there is going to be some tonic, I put here some crochet notes and 2 steps. Like this. I will decide to start music on. And in next bar, let's try to use steps like this. And after release, again back home with this rhythm. Crochet notes. So we also need to put in last measures tonic, or it will be this tonic. It depends where this melody will come. So we will use this tonic or this tonic. Okay, so we have steps and leaps, and again steps. I can play. So next one we already knew in the bar number 3 we need to back in leading tone. So try to use this one. And now our strategy is and instead of sit in this half notes, we can use another one, crochets, and some rest. So it will not give us like a ending of phrase, but it also something happened next. And we already knew like next phrase we start from submedia. And we will, because we need to use variation, contrasting, and repetition, we can make a little bit interesting and create some rhythm like this. And now our melody is so it's much easier than before. And next we go we put something was will remind from first phrase. So we will write this one. counts. And we have just bar number 7. We need to go in release our music in tonic. Of course, we cannot use this tonic because it's a large distance. So absolutely we will use this tonic. And I want to create like this. And now we can listen our melody. So this is so interesting. We have leap steps in this music. Also we have repetition and also different contrasting in music because we have different rhythm. But it's repetition because it's repeat this distance, this 7th. And also here is a repeat music. So keep in mind, for example, instead of to try write music, write the melody from beginning to the end, you can use some ID. And like today I'm explaining for you. You can start not from just write notes. You can decide what do you want, what kind of tension, release, tonics, and after you can start to create. Also use many ways. Today also you know what's mean motive, theme, steps, leaps, and also scale degrees, tonic, supertonic, median, subdominant, dominant, leading tone, and tonic. So I hope it will help for you. Thank you so much.